bike lanes are here to stay. And in the 3 weeks since our last program, the installation of bike lanes on Old Georgetown Road and elsewhere in Montgomery County have continued to be a source of much discussion in online chat rooms, with commentators complaining about the massive amounts of delay, and those who love them, talking about how they can't wait to ride safely down Old Georgetown Road again. So Nancy, most of these roads where the bike lanes have propagated like wild mushrooms are state maintained roads. And so who's to blame? Is it the State Highway Administration or the County Council? Or my favorite whipping boy?
I did. Well, Marc posted something the other day, and so did I. It's large. These are state roads. The street is a number. It's a state road, and obviously the state has done the work. No doubt, it's at the under pressure from Montgomery County. And I'd say you stay tuned, because they're talking about doing a lot of this on Connecticut Avenue, in the district, which is really going to affect Montgomery County. There is a certain war against people in cars, and I think you just need to understand that. And I've mentioned this before, they've done a lot of this in Rockville already, North Bethesda, Silver Spring, tried driving on Fenton Street. These things are here to stay, and it's a big adjustment for the folks on the other side of the county to see what's been happening on the east side. Is it right? I don't know. It's pretty wacky to me if you see. And adjustment is hard for everyone. So we'll see if it really makes a difference. There's going to be a new high school on Old Georgetown Road. And that's another thing I think they're going to worry about how kids get to school. There are 2 high schools within, half a mile of each other, which is a little wacky in and of itself, and how we ensure the kids' safety. So there are some other factors at work here in that part of the county that no doubt are playing a role in all this. We'll see.
I think it's fascinating to see the pros and cons, and of course I hate it because it affects my daily commute. So it's a point of annoyance. But Marc, since former Governor Larry Hogan to blame for this? It's his state highway administration that put these things in.
Well, it really, this is a local government initiative that local government makes the decision. If you look at not late, but Casey Anderson was one of the major drivers for the expansion of bike lanes across Montgomery County. Key point in all of this, and Nancy talked about it, this is basically to screw motorists to drivers.
Yeah.
The number of people who, quote, commute by bicycle in Montgomery County is we have census data on this, is a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of the population, about 3,000 people compared to several 100,000 people who drive otherwise. And it really is, if you're doing the kind of balance of who benefits and who loses out, there are far more losers than there are people who benefit from this.
Well,
one interesting observation I have, and I think about it a lot, when I was on the planning board, we required a lot of those lanes, particularly in that area. That's when they added the new access to 270 there, to address congestion.
Right.
And the rules about congestion have been thrown out of the window now. This county has gone full circle on how we develop, how we change, and how we move. And so it's something to keep an eye on. Maybe it's just a transitory thing, such as it is, and will change by the time our grandchildren are out there.
Well, people still have to get around the county. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact of life. And I think, there's going to be a reaction from voters, maybe in the next election when it comes up.